In India, education is often seen as the only way to achieve success. Every year, millions of students are drawn into a system that promises bright futures. But behind the success stories lies a harsh reality, the billion-dollar coaching industry that has transformed education into a race for survival. Thousands of students flood into cities like Kota, hoping to crack exams like JEE and NEET. These coaching centers hold the promise of success, but what they don't show is the immense pressure, intense competition, and the emotional toll on the students. A former student, Rohan, shares his experience. When he joined the coaching center, they told him he'd be the next IIT topper. But soon, he realized he was just one among thousands. The pressure was unbearable. He saw friends break down under the strain, and some, well, they didn't make it. In cities like Kota, where over 150,000 students gather each year, the stakes are incredibly high. The competition is brutal, and sadly, between 2013 and 2023, over 100 students took their lives because they couldn't cope with the pressure. The weight of expectations can become too much for many. These coaching centers are often compared to factories that churn out students, pushing them to memorize formulas and tricks rather than focus on true learning. It's all about producing top ranks, with little regard for the mental and emotional well-being of each student. While these centers boast of their success stories and top ranks, the truth is that only a small fraction of students ever make it to the top. For most, the promises of success are nothing more than false hope, leaving them disappointed and disillusioned. Dr. Mehta, a psychologist who works with students, explains, the pressure cooker environment in coaching hubs leads to severe anxiety, depression, and a sense of hopelessness. Students are treated like numbers, and the emotional toll is immense. Even teachers at these centers find it difficult. Mr. Sharma, a former teacher, reflects, he used to teach hundreds of students in a single batch. There was no way to give personal attention to everyone. It was about pushing them through, making them memorize formulas, shortcuts, and tricks. True learning? That was rare. But it's not just the coaching centers creating this pressure. Parents, too, play a role, often without realizing it. For many middle-class families, cracking competitive exams like JEE and NEET is seen as the only path to a stable future. Parents invest everything they have, sometimes unknowingly adding to the burden on their children. Mrs. Gupta, a concerned parent, shared her story. She was told that sending her son to Kota was the best way for him to get into IIT. But after 2 years, all she saw was her son becoming a shadow of himself. He stopped talking, lost his passion for learning, and eventually dropped out. Life in a coaching hub like Kota can be a lonely experience. Students are often far from home, surrounded by intense competition, and many struggle with the isolation. Late nights, early mornings, and endless study sessions dominate their lives as they silently battle their inner demons. Priya, a former NEET aspirant, says she spent 3 years preparing for NEET. She missed family events, vacations, and her friends moved on in life. In the end, she didn't even clear the exam. What were supposed to be the best years of her life turned into the worst, but there is hope. In recent years, alternative education platforms and new learning methods are challenging the traditional coaching system. These platforms focus on holistic learning, emotional well-being, and personal growth, rather than just producing top ranks. Experts believe that education should be about curiosity, growth, and passion, not fear, stress, or competition. They advocate for a reimagined approach to education that prepares students for life, not just exams. The harsh reality of the Indian coaching industry is a reflection of the deeper issues in the education system. But change is possible. For the sake of the students and for the future, it's time to rethink what success truly means. The time for change is now. The pressure on students must end, and education should once again be about growth, passion, and a brighter future.